Hello, beautiful family. How are you all doing? Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. This update you are going to listen to today, or this video you are about to watch, is all about the state of the nation from Mazi Simon Ekpa. Listen to it, and I'll be right back.
Election that you are talking about today, that will take place on February 25th. And I must tell you that this particular 25th proposed election or purported election must fail in Biafra territory. We will never validate those who have committed war crimes in our land. We will never validate a government that have committed genocide against our people. We will never validate a government that sponsors terrorism against their own citizens. We will never validate a government that care nothing about their own citizens. Only when it is election time, they will come and start forcing the Biafra people to go out there and vote. This Frontland Constitution, which is the 1999, is the grandfather to the Frontland election that all of you are talking about, parading yourself, killing yourself in the streets of Nigeria in the name of campaigning. It is time for our people to learn from the experience of those amongst us who have slaved for Nigeria for many years, especially in the present government. Participating in the previous election have not benefited us. So what makes you think that this particular February 2023 is going to make a difference? We have seen the Goodluck Jonathan, we have seen Obasanjo, we have seen also Yar'Adua. It didn't lead you to anything. The same people that are shouting about P2B today, or Atiku today, or Tinubu today, were the same people who were telling you in 2015 that have seen a Messiah in Buhari, that Buhari have all it takes to come out and save Nigeria. What they refuse to understand is Nigeria were never designed to progress. Nigeria were never designed for the benefit of the masses. Rather, it was designed for what happened in Afghanistan, for Taliban to take over Nigeria. That is the primary structure of Nigeria, and today it is manifesting. And I have to tell the Biafra people today that the time has come for our people to learn from these experiences of the past. And those who claim that they know it all, and they know that P2B or Atiku or Tinubu or whoever, Papaso and Co. have anything to do to Nigeria, they are just deceiving you and lying to yourself. And because of what we have known, and the secret we know, which you do not have information to, and you do not have, you are not privy to these informations, we have decided that the best interest of Biafra is to not validate Nigeria. And that decision is final. I don't understand that the constitution of Nigeria is dead, the laws of Nigeria is dead. Nigeria no longer respect their own law court, and when the court gave decision or verdict in favor of certain individual, the government that be, which is the Fulani government, will always, their own decision will always prevail. So the government or individuals in the government has become the law, and we can no longer validate such nonsense and such evil in a country where court will rule something and the government will say no. And then, or in a country where you will go into election, and at the end of the day, the court will be the one that will decide who win the election and who lost the election. It has happened in Imo State. Today, it has happened in Osun State also, and it is going to happen and will continue to happen. The electorate is not the one deciding the fate of the people in Nigeria. Rather, the court that are made up of Fulani judges. So, for this reason and numerous reasons, we have decided that the 2023 general election can never ever take place in Biafra territory. And it is time of our people to learn and not always allow, when the rain starts falling on you, you start running outside or looking for a way to, to shelter yourself. This very election will once again give you an executive president. That is for those going into the election that will have the farewell to come to your land and appropriate your resources. And then also, send Fulanis who will come for bloodshed. The president will do everything to serve the interests of the Fulanis. And I want you to understand today that in APC, you have Fulani who is representing you. In PDP, you have the Fulani man who is representing them. In P2B's party, you have a Fulani man who is also representing them in the Labour Party. And they have been able to fix themselves in all the political parties. So if this one lose, this one win. If this one lose, the other one win. And what it means to them is that whoever loses the election, it is win-win for Fulanis. The only people that did not have candidates in those political parties are the Yorubas and the Igbos. And the war is between the Fulani and the rest of Nigerians. And that is exactly what we are doing today. I want to remind you also that during the apartheid in South Africa, the effectiveness of the no election found expression in June of 1976. The youth uprising in Soweto, South Africa, youth got tired of being taught and instructed in their schools in a language that wasn't their mother's tongue and the language of repression. They extended this no election or boycott of schools to boycott of the election. It was only after the June 1967, the Soweto uprising, that the world joined them in their demand, and the rest is history. And I want to tell you today that we are already there, where after this 25th of February, the world will join Biafra to talk about it. And I want to share the news today to the Biafra people of the first international media interview I granted today. Lasted for about 4 to 5 hours. And it is indeed a groundbreaking interview, which is going to be on media in a few days' time. I will not announce the media house at this point, but I want everybody to wait until you are going to watch that particular interview in the media. It's very, very important. We are going to stream it once it is out. But the interview was very successful, and those who came to interview me now understand Nigeria better. They also understand Biafrans better. And going forward, they will be pushing for the interest of those who have fallen victim of this evil entity. And that is a promise that I'm giving Biafra today, and it's a success that we have recorded. So I will wait for that particular interview to speak for itself. And I want to inform Biafra again that historically, it is proven that the necessary tool for both active and passive resistance and need. I don't need to mention many nations that have used this particular approach that we're using today, because we have researched very well. They have applied the boycott or no election, means expressing and achieving their demand for freedom. And I want to tell you people today that no matter how you are being challenged, threatened by the Nigerian state, we must stand on our ground and make this particular legitimate demand that the only election that will be allowed in Biafra territory will be the referendum. It is going to be only the referendum. Now, in order to achieve this, the Nigeria experience with election boycott since 1964 tells the same story of what is happening today, but there have been history and tools will teach you to go to school and learn this history in the school. And I want to inform you today, my people, we have the moral and the religious obligation to make these sacrifices that we are making today. And if you are part of this sacrifice, you are making history. For our future generation, please they blame us for the inability and our inactions. That we are standing under a shade today is possible only because somebody somewhere did something. Where I am today, people died for this particular freedom, and I am doing the same thing for my people. I want you to understand that for us to achieve this particular no election in Biafra territory, there are measures that we have put in place. And those measures is the most important aspect of this particular State of the Nation address today, which I want Biafrans to listen to. But before I do that, I would like to recommend and thank and appreciate few individuals. For the very first time during this Biafra State of the Nation press briefing, I am going to recognize individuals. And these individuals are no other people than one. I would like to appreciate Ikenga Imo. Ikenga Imo for his persistent calling on the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I want to commend him, and I want to tell him to stay very strong. We know that Imo State Governor, the administrator of Fulani, has been on his neck, trying everything and every means possible to assassinate him. He will not succeed. He will not succeed, even though Ikenga Imo is running for election in Nigeria that is not taking place. But for the fact that he has deemed it fit to publicly call for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I am recognizing him this evening and appreciate the courage and the resoluteness in him. He has called for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu not once, not twice. The next person is Soludo of Anambra State. Irrespective of our differences, irrespective of our opinions and all that, Soludo, I have to commend you this evening for two issues that you have done. Two things. One is calling for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Two is that you remove the taxation, that inhuman taxation that you imposed on Anambra people. I commend you for that particular, because I called on you to retrace your step on this taxation, and you're listening to that. And today you have removed the taxation you imposed on Anambra people. So I commend you for these two particular things you've done. And then that is not to say that I am validating whatever you are doing in Nigeria, because even if you remove the taxation, you have not changed anything in Anambra State. There is no hospital, there is no road, there is no security, and the name is endless. And then the third person is Reverend Father Mbaka. I have to commend Father Mbaka for also calling for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and he continued to call for that even when he is under threat. So Father Mbaka, the Biafra people say I should tell you that we appreciate you and thank you, and Lord will continue to give you the courage and the power to always speak for those who are voiceless. Now, in order to actualize the no election in Biafra land and restore Biafra, I want Biafrans to pay attention to this particular special announcement. Very, very important. Very, very important. In order to implement the stop of Nigeria election in Biafra land, the Biafra people have decided that we are going to implement the following mechanisms. One, on the 23rd day of February 2023, there will be sit at home. 2, on the 24th day of February 2023, there will be lockdown in entire Biafra territory. 3, on the 25th day of February 2023, Biafra land will be under lock and key. On the 26th of February 2023, Biafra land will be sealed and will be under lock and key. There will be no movement of chicken. On the 27th of February 2023, Biafra land will be under total lock and key. On the 28th of February 2023, Biafra land will be under lock and key. And I want Biafrans to understand that this particular date and days is still subject to review. The review in the sense that the sit at home may be called off at any point in time. In addition to the aforementioned date, there will be imposition of curfew in 2 of those days. And I want people to pay attention attentively. On the 24th and on the 25th of February 2023, in addition to sit at home, there will be 6 to 6 curfew in certain areas. And listen and pay attention to those areas that this curfew will be affected. There will be an imposition of curfew in the following areas. All federal roads leading to Ebonyi, Enugu, and Imo State. And I want everybody to understand that this particular curfew, which is going to be on the 24th, in addition to sit at home, and on the 25th, in addition to sit at home, will be implemented in towns like Okigwe. Okigwe will observe, in addition to sit at home, a curfew. Oweri in Imo State province will observe curfew from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. in addition to sit at home. Olu will observe curfew from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. on the 24th and on the 25th. Abakaliki in Ebonyi province will observe a curfew in addition to the sit at home. Enugu metropolis will observe this curfew in addition to the sit at home. This curfew is on the 24th and on the 25th of February 2023. I want Biafrans to understand that on these days mentioned, it will be an open war between Biafra and Nigeria, because we are fighting to protect our life, our property, our villages, our culture and value. So anybody who Nigeria government send to come and fight Biafra, we will engage you. Let this particular announcement go very viral for everybody to know that on the 24th and on the 25th of February 2023, in addition to sit at home on these days, we are having curfew in Imo State, mostly in Imo State. This curfew will be in Okigwe, Owere, Olu, Abakaliki, Enugu Metropolis. Anybody who the Nigerian government want to use to blackmail Biafra, you will not be there to tell the story. Because we know what they do to people who disobey these things. Because they know that this order is always something that really pinches their skin. And we are going to use it until Biafra exit Nigeria. We want you to understand that the current jihad, financial jihad going on in Nigeria, trying to cripple everything we do in Biafra land will be over. We will scale through it and Biafra people will survive it. I want to also announce the provinces where this election will be backed. Abakaliki, there will be no election in Abakaliki province in Biafra. There will be no election in Afikpo. There will be no election in Oji River. There will be no election in Enugu. There will be no election in Nsukka. There will be no election in Owerri. There will be no election in Olu. There will be no election in Okigwe. There will be no election in Aba. There will be no election in Umuahia. There will be no election in Nnewi. There will be no election in Onitsha. There will be no election in Awka. There will be no election in Abo. There will be no election in Warri. There will be no election in Ureli. There will be no election in Asaba, which is Ababa in Biafra. There will be no election in Yenegwa. There will be no election in Ahuda. There will be no election in Degema. There will be no election in Ikwocha. There will be no election in Calabar. There will be no election in Ogoja. There will be no election in Eket. There will be no election in Uyo. There will be no election in Kotekpene. There will be no election in Anan. There will be no election in Auchi. There will be no election in Benin. There will be no election in Idoma. There will be no election in Igala. All these places, 31 provinces of Biafra, there will be no Nigeria election come 25th day of February 2023. I want to thank Biafrans today who have struggled to join this State of the Nation briefing and make sure that this announcement that are passed here spread very wide and goes viral for every Biafrans to follow. We have many days ahead of us to make sure that this information goes viral. In addition to this, remember that from the 15th of February 2023, Nigeria will go under very, very serious chaotic situation because we have all the intels of what most of those people trying to, cause confusion in the Biafra struggle are planning to do. So we call on all Biafrans all over Nigeria, wherever you find yourself, to be very, very careful and very vigilant that from the 15th day of this month, there is a planned, a planned crisis against Biafra, especially against Ndibo. So if you are in Lagos, if you are in other parts of the north, you have to be very, very careful. We are monitoring the situation and those who are sponsoring this thing. So, and we are going to always bring the intels to you and the information as they come. And I believe that it will be curtailed before then. So we call on Biafrans outside Biafra land, not just in Lagos or anywhere, but if you find yourself outside Biafra land, in other parts of Nigeria, we call you to be very, very security conscious, starting from the 15th day of this month. Very important. This particular one is very important. I thank you all, and I want to also make it very clear that the Biafra government have activated some department. The department as follows. The Biafra government in exile have activated the following department. Have activated the media and communication department of the Biafra government. We have also activated the transportation department of the Biafra government. We have as well activated the oil and gas department of the Biafra government. We have also activated the building, the architect of Biafra government, those who make decision on the building and construction of the Biafra department. This department has been activated and they are working tirelessly to bring something that what Biafra is going to look like. So we thank them, and those who are coordinating this particular department, we thank them and urge them to, bring in their best and experience to serve the Biafra people. I want you all to understand that the only option and the only condition that will stop the aforementioned days of sit at home or change anything is the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We continue to demand for the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Once Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released, between now and the 15th of this month, we are going to consider this sit at home and a new arrangement will be put in place. This arrangement will favor whoever that has been against our sit at home, and the previous and other sit at home will be called off and cancelled immediately. And this is a message directly to the Nigeria Fulani Caliphate who think they own Nigeria and own the law and own everybody. If you release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the days of this sit at home will be reconsidered, and we are going to leave the sit at home. And this is a condition that we have reached, and this condition is final. Anything less than that, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is inside there in dungeon, believe me, we will face you if you come to force election into our land, and the days is already very close, and we are waiting for you. I want to thank you and thank entire Biafra people for their support, their prayers, and everything you have done to make this struggle a success. We have achieved many things that if we start mentioning it, it will be mind-blowing to the Biafra people. And I want to assure you that we are now 25 days to Biafra. This will come. You will sleep in Nigeria and wake up in Biafra. May God bless you, and may God bless Biafra. From here, from me, it is good evening. Salute to the Biafra Liberation Army.
So, my correalistic people, that is all about the state of the nation from Mazi Simon Ekpa. I don't really know why the federal government of Nigeria don't want to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We still need to raise our voice and let them obey their court order and release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you for listening. Please share this video and let it go viral. Thank you. Subscribe and bye-bye.